Hello everyone, this is a joint broadcast by Go Türkiye and expats. Today I'm going to welcome two guests. One of them is an expat living in Istanbul and the other one is a precious guest from Los Angeles. I'll take them to do eager lunch at Istanbul airport and treat them some Turkish coffee, maybe some Turkish dessert, so that we can talk about their Istanbul and Turkey memories. Buckle up, it's coming up now. Here we are at Eagle Lunch, and today I have two special guests. One of them is a Hungarian beauty, successful actress and businesswoman, Boglarka Talu. And my other guest is all the way from Los Angeles, an international journalist, member of Hollywood Foreign Press, Barbaros Tapan. Welcome.
Hello, Arda.
So good to be here, Arda. It's
It's definitely good to host you at Eagle Lunch. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Thank
How
you.
are you?
Fantastic.
We're great.
You're from Los Angeles,
Yes, sir.
but of course, Turkish American living in LA. You are from Hungary, but you're living in Turkey. I'm so
Yes.
excited to host both of you. You're a big fan of Turkey and big supporter of Turkey
Thank
and
you.
Istanbul. So today I'm going to ask you a couple of questions to hear about your wonderful memories of Turkey and Istanbul. So I would like to start with you right away, Bogdarka. So first of all, what's your story? When did you move to Istanbul? How did you decide to do it? So can you tell us a little bit?
I have a long history with Turkey because I was 18 years old when I started modeling. And my first destination was Istanbul, of course.
Wow.
I did lots of work here. Then I left. I moved to Italy, Milan, of course, then Asia. I worked in Singapore, Hong Kong. Then I went to New York. I was just traveling around, working around. Then in 2008, I came back again for a couple of jobs. We were shooting some TV shows and advertising campaigns and stuff. So while I stayed here, I was partying a lot, of course. I mean, it's very famous.
Istanbul is a great party
Yes,
place.
and I decided to stay and move in and learn the culture, learn the language. And of course, I started to love everything what was here. Somehow I felt when I was 18 that I will come back here. It was somehow pulling me, this country, and I felt that the culture is so close to my heart. The people, the way how they loved, how they cherished, how they spent time together. I was just like amazed by it. And you know, Hungarians, we are very warm-hearted people and very modest and kind. And somehow it was very close to my heart, I think. And I just stayed. So it was a wonderful story. It was a love story because I'm still in love with Turkey and of course, especially Istanbul. But I have many other places which I love.
We're gonna come to that
Yes.
point, definitely. But you go back and forth between Hungary and Turkey because you're an actress. You're also a TV personality.
Yes.
So how about that background? Could you tell us a little bit?
Yes. I travel a lot back and forth. I'm a commuter, let's say. I'm always on airports. Sometimes I even travel weekly because I just get a phone call, so I have to go for an interview, for a new TV show deal or something. So I try to manage it both ways. I did also TV shows and films in Turkey. I still do it in Hungary. So I try to mix and match my plans and programs. Also, I try to be at home a bit with my husband. So it's not easy, but it's worth it, I think. I love my job. Plus, I started a couple of businesses, both in Turkey and Hungary, as an investor. So I'm looking after them too. So it's very busy.
So it has been overall how many years then?
13 years now.
Wow, 13
Yes,
years.
Yes.
It's a long time.
Long and wonderful time.
But it's so great to hear all these nice comments about your
Yes.
experience, Boglarka. So welcome once again.
Thank you so much.
So, Barbaros Tapan, we all
Yes,
know
sir.
you as an international journalist. We follow you on Turkish press.
Thank you.
So you live in Los Angeles.
Yes,
So
sir.
how everything started in US? You moved from Turkey to US. So could you tell us your story?
Yes, I have been living in LA since 1996. It has been always 25 years. It's quite long, as you know. Since I was a little kid, I always dream about it. I love to travel. I love to learn from other people's culture. And LA was a right destination for that because I love sports and entertainment. That's why we call Los Angeles capital of entertainment.
Definitely.
So I was very fortunate, and so far, as you know, I work as a journalist. I'm a member of Hollywood Foreign Press, jury of the Golden Globe.
You are the only, I think you're representing Turkey
Yeah.
on the jury, right?
Yes, yes.
You've been following all those NBA topics, the games and everything.
Exactly.
But at the
I
same
mean,
time, you're
yes.
following all the Hollywood news, all the movie-related
Yes.
topics.
I start my career with NBA correspondent, and that's my still biggest passion because I love sports a lot. Also, I'm licensed soccer coach.
Wow.
wow.
I coach high school team back in the days in Los Angeles, 5 years. It was a wonderful
Nice.
experience. And thanks God, you know, everything works well so far, but we have more work to do in Los Angeles for our country.
Definitely, definitely. So, welcome to Istanbul.
Thank you.
So, I would like to ask you, Boglarka, to you, what was the first thing when you moved to Turkey years ago that got your attention, which made you surprised, which made you laugh maybe? So, do you remember any details?
like funny things, you mean?
Funny things, positive
I
things,
mean,
interesting
about the
things, let's
culture,
say.
I had lots of interesting things. Of course, especially the body language Turks have, it was very different. And I had really, really funny stories. Of course, we were discussing with people at the time. I didn't speak the language. Today, of course, I think I'm really good at it. But the first surprise was like we were discussing with someone, and I asked a question, and he did something like this with the head. And I was like, what does this mean? You know, I should understand. This was an answer.
Body
And then
language.
I understood it meant no. So it was very, very surprising and very funny. And also, I think Turks love to make jokes a lot, and they have a double meaning. Anything has a double meaning. So at first, like, I was speaking the language, and I was of course translating everything word by word, but I didn't understand, you know, the meaning of it. So I would understand everything the other way, you know. So people would laugh at me. And then I had to learn that they have very nice sayings in the language, and it means something very different. It has a very deep meaning. So I was surprised by the spirituality of the country, like how people put meaning into everything, and everything has a value. Family has a big value, and they kind of connect people around themselves. They keep people tight to them. And then I really wanted to live in a country where love and cherishing was so important. So I was touched by it very much. I was touched by all the beliefs they have, especially, for example, the evil eye. You know, like everywhere I would go, somebody wanted to put an evil eye on me. You know, like they should,
You deserve
like
it.
I should be
you
protected.
deserve it, and you need it. By the way, you're such a beauty.
So they all tried to protect me from the bad eyes, and I was like, oh come on, nothing will happen to me. I am protected already. You know, so, it was interesting how much they would get involved with you. They would ask very intimate questions right away, like, are you married? Do you have kids? Why don't you have kids? How much do you earn? How do you work? And everything. So I was like, oh my God, like they're not even my friends. Immediately they attacked me with all these questions, and it was very easy to make friendships, to get to know people so quickly, and get attached to people so quickly. So I really felt that this is a very warm culture. And it's very easy to live in it. So I really loved it from the first moment.
Very glad to hear all these beautiful comments from you, Boglarka. So I'm going to ask the same question to you, but in another way,
Okay.
Barbaros.
That's
So
cool.
because you've been interviewing many Hollywood stars, and since you're a Turkish journalist and since you're interviewing them for Turkey, I'm sure you also hear some interesting comments and feedbacks about Turkey. So any memories?
Well, actually, to be honest, I often ask about Istanbul and Turkey a lot. They love Istanbul. Most of them, they have been here. They know our city very well. They always talk about like Grand Bazaar, Karaköy, Sultanahmet. They have some stories about buying carpets, you know. and also most of them, they've been south part of the Turkey. They love Ephesus, Bodrum, Çeşme. Also, they love the diversity in Turkey. This is very important for me. And of course, our cuisine and our hospitality, they always talk about that. So when you hear stuff like that, you know,
You like
I
it?
feel very happy. Actually, last time I had a conversation with Brad Pitt. After the interview, he was asking Pamukkale.
Wow.
He was telling me that he would like to go and see there as soon as possible.
Wow,
Nice.
it's really good to hear all these, you know,
Yes.
beautiful comments from Hollywood stars,
Exactly.
which is really important. So because when they come, you know, all the world they follow them. So
Yes,
Yeah.
very
It's a great
important,
marketing.
especially nowadays on social media. If one Hollywood celebrity goes any destination,
Yeah.
post couple stories or pictures, I mean, this is the best advertisement you can have. You know?
those destinations becomes a hot topic.
Exactly.
Yes. For example, the
exactly.
latest, it was Guy Ritchie's shooting.
Yes.
You remember they just shot a new movie, I think a war
Yeah, in
movie.
Antalya.
Yes,
Yeah.
in
yeah, because
Antalya.
Antalya has such a big
Yeah.
plateau.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Jason Statham, he's the leading guy.
Yeah, Jason Statham. Exactly.
So speaking of Antalya, other cities, I'm gonna come to the point of your other favorite destinations in Turkey, but how about in Istanbul? Where do you like, guys? Which neighborhoods? Boglarka.
Me, I could say that I'm almost a tour guide in the cities. I have lots of foreign guests coming over, and every time I take them to the Grand Bazaar and the surroundings. So I know quite well the history of it as well. So I follow everything. I know the little shops, little vendors, where to go, what to buy. I really get good deals. I know how to talk to Turkish people, you know, how to do negotiation, for example.
Bargains,
I love
little
to
bargains.
bargain. I love to bargain. I'm so good at it. So
Bargain, I think, is a part of the culture of
Yes.
Turkey and Balkans as well,
yes,
right?
Yes, that's right. It's expected, you know.
Are you good on that?
Yeah, I love to discuss in different shops. I sit down for a tea, coffee, you know, I spend time until we get down the deal, you know, I ask everything out to show me, you know, the whole collection.
You create the connection first,
Exactly.
then do the bargain.
Exactly. So I really love to go around the old city a lot. I always find something to go for. I love the jewelry section of it because I always buy as presents. I learned in this culture to buy as a present, something, as a gift, you know.
Then you love
as a
Grand
jewelry.
Bazaar.
Yeah. I love the Grand Bazaar really. And then I always feel like I'm bringing that culture a little bit into my own culture. So people really love it. And then I love to hang out in the modern side of Istanbul as well. Of course, around the big shopping malls where I also set up some of my meetings. I usually like to sit in cafes, restaurants.
Which one is your favorite? Which neighborhood specifically?
I usually go down to Bebek because I love to walk or do exercises. Like I work out a lot and I love to hang out in there, right next to the sea. But of course, we also live on the Bosporus, so I enjoy the Bosporus every single day. I think I couldn't live without that view. I mean, that is something spectacular. What else? I mean, for me, in general, also the Asian side, next to the seaside, is very lovely. We love to go to the islands.
Prince Islands.
Yes, Princess Islands, yes. And we use a boat for fishing, actually. I love to do diving and fishing, even in Istanbul. So we set up the whole little crew with our gear and we plunge in and we swim and have fun. Yeah.
So how about you, Barbaros?
Well, I love kuzguncuk. That's where I was born and raised. Kuzguncuk has magnificent waterfront view.
Yes.
Also, again, very diverse place. I
Yes.
grew up with Armenian and Jewish kids in Kuzguncuk. We have lovely coffee shops, art galleries, and people very warm. While I'm in Istanbul, me and my wife, we love to go to Kuzguncuk and walk around, have tea, cup of coffee. I mean, there's a special part in my heart. Also, Allah Bebek and Arnavutköy, Ortaköy, Beşiktaş, my favorite places.
Yeah.
So Kuzguncuk is a super historical place as well.
Yes.
I
All
just
those
wanted to
little
say it's one of my
houses.
favorite as
Yes.
well because we
Those-
walk from Beylerbeyi to Kuzguncuk,
Yes.
and this is the first time when I really understood how Turkish culture is. Because one night we were just walking by, and it was the first church where 3 churches were
Yes.
built inside the same
Yes.
area. Like, imagine a fence, and inside there is 3 different churches. And then I understood like why Turkey is so
Yeah,
special, that they
very
can live
diverse.
together, different religions, different nations, they can really live together. And it was so touchy, really, like I felt so touched by it. We would always go there. They have really nice fish restaurants
Yes.
there as well.
Also, maybe in the world, mosque and the church side by side
Yes.
in
I think
In
this is
Kuzguncuk.
the only place
It's
in the
very,
world like
very
this.
like
Rare.
when you
Yes.
see that 2 beautiful
Yes.
buildings side by side,
Yes.
you get goosebumps.
Yes,
So
I did
love
get
that.
goosebumps there. They have very nice bakeries as well. So it's some amazing
Turkish
local
bakeries,
markets.
such a
Yes.
famous,
Local
Turkish cuisine
products,
item.
amazing local products and ingredients, and amazing bread. It's coming out from there.
As you know, Kuzguncuk also a favorite place and destination for TV series. And all TV productions, most of them happens there. It's like a small movie set.
Yeah, because it's super historical. The streets
Yes.
are beautiful, colorful
Yes,
houses,
exactly.
the local people,
Yes.
local
Like
business people,
organic set.
organic
Yes.
stuff, organic plateau. So how about in Turkey in general? So I heard about Istanbul, your favorite destinations, but how about in Turkey? Boglarka.
So for me, I have a couple of favorite places. We just discussed before at the little museum that Diyarbakır, for example, is one of my favorite places because it has so much history that whenever I arrive there, just that walls, I feel like they suck me in and I'm back 1,000 years. It's unbelievable. It's such an energy center in there, and they kept that old culture. And people live according to that still until today. Mardin, for example, which is very close by. Of course, I mean, Cappadocia is one of my other favorites. It's like almost every year I'm there. I try to go in May when all the flowers bloom and everything is full of amazing smells. Like, it's incredible. So I always do the tour with the balloon. For me, it's a very spiritual place. Of course, it's the center of Christianity. That's why I really feel like home in there, and I love the culture in there too. Of course, the Aegean part of Turkey is one of my favorites, Marmaris, Bodrum. We go sometimes to Çeşme also, but I like more green areas with the turquoise water and crystal clear sea. I love to do boating, to do the blue voyage, from the north to the south and back. I'm very much a sea girl. Like, I'm a master diver, so we're always out on the sea.
Wow, you dive.
I dive and I do photography also as a
Wow.
hobby.
Oh.
So we travel all around the world, but every time we come back from our diving trips, I always say to my husband, okay, let's please go down to the south in Turkey because I really want to feel like I'm in a real sea. Because the Turkish sea, what you have to know about it, why it's so wonderful is it doesn't have much waves, especially the western part. the western side of the coastline, and it's crystal clear. I mean, it's so beautiful and so clean, and it's not too warm, which is with the tropical waters, it's quite difficult to swim in it because it's 28, 30 degrees, and I don't really feel like I'm refreshed after a swim. So I love to come back to Turkey and enjoy holidays a little bit longer.
It's a perfect climate
Yes,
to swim,
it is
to
a
dive.
perfect climate.
Definitely.
Yes.
For diving and swimming,
Yes.
and also having the sun bath.
Yes,
You know, it
that's
has
right.
the perfect temperature.
Yes.
So, how about you, Barbaros? Where's your favorite cities?
I think you know it because we have been there with you together. Antep, Gaziantep.
yeah.
I love
Nice.
Antep. I love their, of course, besides cuisine,
Yeah.
also their history, their culture. People is so welcoming people, and as you know, also I try to promote their cuisine in Hollywood.
Yes,
espe-
baklava.
especially
Right.
baklava.
Nice.
So yeah, and what else? Bodrum, of course.
Of course.
Bodrum, one of my favorite destinations.
Yes.
I was there recently.
Mm.
Had a great time.
How was it?
Fantastic. I would like to go back there.
I think lots of Hollywood
Yeah.
stars recently, especially
Yeah.
before the COVID-19, they were coming a lot to Turkey, and they
Yes.
start coming again.
Yes.
Recently, Orlando Bloom was
Yes,
here.
he was
Yeah.
So,
there.
and many others are think on the
Johnny
way.
Depp is every year here.
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie almost every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
But
And
most,
lots of billionaires
Yeah.
coming to Bodrum.
most of them, they pass by with their super yacht. Anyway, what else? And
Yeah.
Cappadocia, amazing, magnificent place. I always talk about it. When I'm in
Yeah.
Los Angeles, I always tell my foreign friends, we should go Cappadocia, magnificent place.
So speaking of all the destinations, as you mentioned, like Gaziantep, very famous for its cuisine,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about Turkish cuisine items. But before, I would like to treat you some Turkish coffee. Guys, ready?
Let's
Ready.
go.
Let's have some. So please enjoy your Turkish coffee.
We call it host su, which is a long coffee. It's very similar to Turkish coffee, but it has to be very foamy, but it has to be long, but not as an Americano. It's in between. We like to drink a lot of coffee. We are depending on coffee and sweets. So Hungarians love Turkish coffee as well.
And every country has its
Yes,
own coffee
yes,
culture, of course.
yes.
But how about the Turkish cuisine?
Turkish cuisine is interesting for me because I don't consume meat. So some part of the cuisine, the gastronomy, I don't enjoy myself personally, but I enjoy watching my friends how they eat.
And the rest of the cuisine itself has lots of options with vegetables and
Yes.
olive oils, right?
Yes, I am actually a pescatarian, which means that I enjoy a lot of fish from the Bosporus, and also on the Aegean side, I love to eat lots of veggies and lots of herbs, which they cook. So it's very famous in that region to cook herbs, lots of different kind of grasses, which is very, very different in the world. Like I've never seen anywhere to use this many types of grasses and plants in the cuisine. So I enjoy very much all the mezes, which is like the olive oil cuisine, let's say. It's all made with olive oil. And they have lots of types of dishes. So the variety is very big in Turkey. That's why I feel like I don't miss out on anything. I can find always for myself something very special and nice, although I don't eat meat. So I think it's a wonderful location to eat good.
Any specific items, Boglarka?
Any specific items? I mean, for the fish, I definitely love the sea bream from the Bosporus. It's very tender, and the way how they prepare it, they always put it on the grill. So it has a taste of charcoal.
Oh yeah.
And it's dry, so it's not too oily. I just love it. And of course, with it, I love all these salads made with rucola, you know, and amazing tomatoes, everything originally from Antalya. So all the veggies are locally made. They taste amazing. I love the fruits in Turkey. I mean, even during wintertime, we can eat oranges and all the tropical fruits, which is an exception because in Europe we don't have that luxury, you know.
And Turkey is a big exporter
Yes,
of all these vegetables
exactly,
and fruits
exactly.
to Europe and to the
So
Middle East.
I enjoy very much. Also, it's interesting, like I love to eat all these, for example, enginar, you know, the artichokes, which is very big in this culture. So they can prepare it in very different ways. I love that they find in every plant something as a medicine, you know, so they always have a story with it, like what is it good for? Like for example, if you talk about artichokes, they would say it cleans the liver, or you know, every kind of vegetable has a story with it. What is it good for? So it's still coming from the old culture of Turkey, that they kept all these values. They always have herbs to heal you. They love to drink tea, not only black tea, but lots of herbs, lots of herbal teas. So I enjoy the tea culture as well, not only coffee.
Especially Black Sea region is famous for its local Turkish tea, especially Rize.
Rize, yes, that's the location. I mean, the fields there, I mean, they really look like you're in China. The mountains, everything is filled with tea. Everything is green from tree, and the local ladies are collecting the leaves. So it's really a wonderful location to visit also, by the way. Plus, I love the sweets in Turkey.
Oh.
I have two favorites. Of course, one of it is baklava, but I prefer homemade baklava, which is quite dry and very crispy. So it's just amazing. I can finish one huge plate of baklava, you cannot imagine. I introduced myself to the family of my husband very quickly, you know, when the homemade baklava arrived, I took it in front of me, you know, and I finished it all.
Have you tried to cook any Turkish cuisine items?
No, actually, I'm not really a cook. I don't prefer cooking. I don't know, I don't find myself in the kitchen. I'm good in many other fields, but
You are
not
good
in
at
the kitchen.
eating, trying,
Yes.
tasting.
But I'm a very good host. I love to organize parties and events in our house, and I love to take care of our Turkish guests and prepare everything so they feel like they're home. So I love that part of this culture. And the other favorite dessert is künefe. It's made of very tiny particles of, I would call it like, it looks like pasta or something, you know, but very
Like
tiny.
angel hair.
Angel hair is called, yes. And then it's kind of like soaked in butter and lots of sugar, and of course kaymak, which is, let's say, not sour cream, but something like that. So I love the taste of of course they add cheese to it. So I love the taste of the cheese that is a little bit salty and is very sweet at the same time. Plus they can make like 40 varieties, which means they do it with chocolate, with pistachios, with walnuts, with many things and many ways they prepare it. It always has to come hot, like in a very nice little pot. Like it's just sizzling, you know, inside, and then you just cut it up while it's just
You made
burning.
me hungry. Definitely. Now I really want to have some
I can
künefe.
finish plates of it because it's just very heavy, but at the same time it's easy to eat. It's just like a normal dish,
Yeah,
basically.
easy to digest as
yes,
well.
easy to digest. Yeah.
So, how about you, Barbaros? I know that you're a big food lover.
Well, nothing left for me. You explained them all. I mean,
Turkish cuisine is very rich, so I'm sure you can still find
Yeah.
some favorite items.
yes, I'm a very foodie person, and my number one, top of the list, is mantı.
Oh,
Wow.
And my mother-in-law, she's the master of it.
Wow.
She's really good on that. Maybe one day you guys more than welcome
Thank you.
to come to our house and test it. And I love also Turkish seafood a lot. I love to go to seafood restaurants a lot. and stews, Turkish like vegetable stews. I love it. Like
Güveç.
yes, güveç, traditional are like matters.
Yes,
You know, traditional cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it all actually. You know me.
And
I'm-
kebab,
yeah,
and
oh,
pide.
I'm not even go there. You know. But
İçli köfte.
mantı is number one for me.
Nice.
I can eat mantı every day, no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Every day. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. But it's very light. What is amazing about it is like a normal dumpling, but tiny.
Well,
And
I
I
eat
think it's
3-4
light.
plate when I sit down. So
Right?
for me, not kind of that light, you know. If you know how to control yourself, yes, but
In Turkey, it's hard to control yourself when it's
Yeah.
about food, you know? It's like hundreds of different dishes coming to the table, and it's all filled up. It's
especially
unbelievable how they,
our,
you know,
our
they
breakfast
eat.
style.
Exactly,
Is
and the famous breakfasts. I
Oh.
mean, I enjoy it so
serpme,
much.
serpme kahvaltı.
All little items
And,
Yes.
in the middle of the
and,
table.
and bazlama, lately very popular ones.
So, as
Yeah.
you see, Barbaros, and as I said, there are lots of items to choose
Lots
from.
of items,
Yeah.
but mantı is number one. Still. It's the king of the Turkish cuisine.
So let's also talk some business side of you guys. So Barbaros, every year you organize Hollywood Turkish Film Festival. So how do you see the effect of Hollywood actually in general, the film industry, of promoting a country? What kind of role does it play, you think?
Yeah, films impact our society and popular culture for sure. Good films do more than entertainment or fill seats at the cinema. They change our lives and outside of the theater, and because films have the power to touch our hearts, our minds, and our society, raising awareness from climate changes to human rights.
Exactly.
So there's a big power for sure. Also, films plays big role for countries' tourism. For example, 7 Years in Tibet is a lovely
Yes.
masterpiece. After that movie, Tibet's tourism increased tremendously. Lord of the Rings for New Zealand, Game of Thrones, Dubrovnik, Ireland, England, Scotland. So for that, films have massive impact on tourism. For us, for Turkey, yes, we have beautiful landscape. We have 4 seasons. We have to promote that beauty more aggressively, what I believe. But at the same time, we have to build movie studios.
Yes.
We have to educate people on the field much better. Better cinematographers, better camera people, better editors. Because when Hollywood studios comes to here, they're gonna look for these points.
But Turkey already has a huge potential in terms of the natural plateaus.
Great potential.
Yeah.
In terms of the human resources
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Great potential. So on my part, yes, I'm working on it. I'm just a messenger, as you know, in Hollywood.
You're doing a lot.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
doing a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can bring more big projects to our land and put our signatures end of the contract. That's I'm
Hopefully.
really looking for.
I'm sure, Barbaros. So, Boglarka, you're an actress. You are in the same field with Barbaros.
Yes.
Movie world, let's say. So, what's the most difficult part of being an actress?
The most difficult part is the time of waiting in between 2 projects. Like when you finish one and you're waiting for the second, the next one. That's why I do 2 things at the same time. I work in the media, plus I have my own businesses. So I fill up that time until the next project is coming. I also take part as a producer in some of the TV shows. I love to be behind the camera as well and prepare the productions, locations and so on. So I love to dream also the production. And of course, because I'm coming from Hungary, we have everything all set up to shoot amazing movies. Hollywood is in the country for 15 years now, and minimum 20 big Hollywood productions are always held in the country, not only in Budapest but also in the countryside. And we have everything, the pre-production, post-production.
But the young people, they all think like being an actor or actor, it's easy because you know it's a very popular thing, it's fabulous. But on the other hand, it's very difficult, right? So the young
Yes.
generation, I don't think that they are really aware of it. So do you want to
Yes.
say anything about this?
I think especially this generation of the digital media, they think that this is a very easy job and anybody can become famous or well-known, or it's just easy to take over this kind of jobs. But it's actually not, because it's a very tight world. They have closed doors to newcomers. It's hard to enter. Really hard to enter, and it's not enough just to get an education. You have to have good connections, you have to be around to be seen, and influencing people or being in social media doesn't mean that you're actually working in TV or in the cinema. So it's a very separate, two different worlds actually, which they're not aware of. So I see always people trying to get into thinking that, oh, I have many followers and then I can enter into that. But actually they're two different worlds. Also, it's keeping its own people. So they always work with the same people. They try to trust each other, and the trust goes on for like a very long time. The production companies never change. They're usually the same. So that's why it's quite hard to get involved and be in this industry. So yeah, for the young generation, I think is becoming harder and harder to be part of it. Plus the population is growing, so it's I think more than enough actors and actresses on the market right now. So it's a big challenge.
Big competition.
Yes.
So because of your jobs, you guys keep traveling all the time. So
Yes.
my next question is going to be about an airport life. So what does an airport mean to you, Barbaros, in your life?
Well, airport means excitement to me, because arriving or departing to the airport both make the excitement for me. I feel so energetic sometimes, because if I'm going especially to a different destination, first time in my life, you know, it's
Big
a great
excitement
feeling.
too, right?
Yes, absolutely. I love it. Especially the airport like this is such a beauty. Yes, why
Thank
not? I
you.
can stay here all day long.
So how about you, Boglarka?
I love airports. I think it's my second home since I travel so much. Sometimes I even fly twice a week. I get excited as well all the time. Anytime I arrive to an airport, I do get excited. It's not just because of a feeling of, you know, you're preparing for a new destination, but meeting so many people from all around the world. And I love to have a good service. I love Istanbul airport very much. I mean, for me, it's one of the best locations in the world as an airport, with all the services, with all the beauty, with the space, you know, it's really enjoyable. I love to do all the shopping, you know. Of course, I use my time before, so I try to come to the airports earlier. But I love always the VIP accesses, so I can get through quite quickly through the passports and the luggages. So I like to take the pleasure of using all the services on an airport.
How about the lunch? Now I'm hosting you at Eagle Lounge.
Well,
Did you like it, guys?
I mean, this is, I think, one of the best lunch in the world. I'm not saying that because I'm Turkish. Also, I keep hearing this from my colleagues from LA, well, especially our journalist friends, because as you know, they travel a lot, and most of them, they have been here. They always talk highly about it, which is when I hear that, I feel very happy. So yeah, it's wonderful, and thanks for whoever work in this project all officials, all employees. I would like to thank to them. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
How about you, from a eye of a woman? You have a good taste, Boglarka. How
I
do
mean,
you
for
see?
me, the most important part is two things. One, that we have chefs. It's like, it's amazing to have such a good food freshly coming out from the oven. The other thing is that we have service, all the people helping us everywhere, because very rare on different airports in the world to have all these services to help you with the luggages, to serve you the food, the coffee, the tea. I think it's exceptional, and it's also part of the Turkish culture that they're so amazing with hosting. I think they're the best in the world. I mean, whenever I think about hosting people and making happy, I always think of Turks. So I love the feeling that Iga brought it here as well, and then we can enjoy this.
I'm so glad to hear it from you guys. So thank you very much for your coming. It was a great experience for me to host you and hear about all your wonderful Turkey and Istanbul memories. So thank you very much for your coming.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
your
so
invite.
much.
Thank you.
So that's all for the week. Please follow us on Go Türkiye and Iga Pass YouTube and Instagram accounts for our new episodes. And I hope to see you soon.